The Hacienda San Isidro loomed on the horizon like a dark, antiquated relic rooted in the past. Beatriz stood at the iron gates, the wind whipping at her skirts and the dust stinging her eyes. She was trying to piece together a life shattered by her father's execution, and Don Rodolfo, her new husband, promised a fresh start. But as the gates creaked open, an unsettling chill gripped her heart. The house seemed to sigh, as though aware of her arrival and already probing the depths of her soul. Within the walls of the grand yet decaying estate, echoes of the past seeped through every corner. The ancient portraits seemed to follow her every move, eyes glinting with secrets best left buried. The servants moved through the halls like shadows, their eyes downcast, murmuring about things that crawled in the night. One by one, the nights grew more restless. It began with whispers, barely audible but persistent. Beatriz would wake to the sensation of cold fingers brushing her skin, only to find the room empty. Then came the footsteps, pacing the length of the corridor outside her chamber. By the second week, she was convinced she was not alone in the house, that unseen eyes watched her every move, and that malevolent forces were at play. Her desperate pleas to Rodolfo were met with indifference. He was a man enwrapped in his own enigma, vanishing for hours and returning with the scent of earth and incense clinging to him. When pressed for answers, he dismissed her fears as hysteria. But Beatriz knew better, she felt the darkness closing in. With nowhere else to turn, Beatriz sought out Padre Andrés, a local priest with a reputation for dealing with the unholy. Andrés was a man cloaked in his own shadowy past, his eyes clouded with a mix of sorrow and determination. He listened, and as Beatriz unburdened her soul, a flicker of recognition crossed his face. "The house has a history," he revealed, his voice heavy with the specters of the past. "It was built on suffering, and suffering sustains it." Together, they began to unearth the estate's chilling past. The Hacienda San Isidro had been the site of countless tragedies, tales of forbidden love, betrayal, and vengeance that had soaked its foundations with blood. The spirits of the wronged and the vengeful intertwined within its walls, feeding off the terror of the living. The closer they got to the truth, the more aggressive the hauntings became. Apparitions materialized, their faces twisted in anguish. Doors slammed shut, trapping them in rooms that seemed to constrict around them. Beatriz and Andrés forged an uneasy alliance, each grappling with their own ghosts, as they faced the house's malevolent spirits. As the days wore on, Beatriz began to understand the house was more than just haunted. It was alive, a malevolent entity that had chosen her as its next victim. Weak and tormented, she clung to the hope that Andrés could perform a cleansing ritual to rid the house of its sinister inhabitants. But as the final confrontation loomed, she discovered a heart-wrenching truth: Rodolfo had known about the house's dark nature all along.